from internationals for the internationals. This is International Hangout.
What's up, people of CofI? Welcome to International Hangout episode 0. My name is Shushanik.
I'm Suti De Silva. And the reason we're doing this episode to give you some introduction for the podcast and to tell you what is this podcast about and why we're doing this, what's our focus and what kind of guest you will be seeing, and of course about our music production and all the fun stuff, what platforms we would be using to release these episodes, and all the fun stuff there. To get started, I'll talk a little bit about myself, and I'm a junior. I'm majoring in computer science. I'm from Sri Lanka, and I am the co-host, co-founder, and main editor, the main editor for audio stuff in this podcast, and main music producer.
Yeah, I'm from Armenia. I'm the co-host and co-founder of the podcast, and I'm majoring in international politics and journalism.
The reason why we started this podcast, for me at least, is I had a podcast when I was in high school in my UWC, but it wasn't that successful. We did a couple of episodes, and the passion died, and the IB was hitting hard, and we gave up. But you know what? I saw this episode before the summer, and I was like, maybe we could do it again. I just need to find someone who wants to do it, so I wanted to try it. Then I have had conversations with Sushanik about journalism and stuff. Then I was like, maybe I could ask her and invite her to be the co-host. Yeah, things worked out, and we made plans, and and then we're doing our first episode, introductory episode. Yeah, hopefully things will be good and we will do great stuff.
Yeah, I would say my main motivation to do this podcast is the international part of it, because so we're both UWC graduates, and that's where the international part of my life started, because I met people from so many countries, and I heard so many amazing life stories, and I think it's very inspiring to share them, and I want people to hear the stories of people who get to US for education purposes, and I want them to hear their stories and just have a wider view on the world, because we very often tend to just think about our own world, our own country, our own background, but there are people out there who have all kinds of different life stories. A lot of them are very inspiring, very motivational. So that's my main motivation to do this podcast. I think it's gonna be very interesting. So as I said, a big part of this is the international experience of the students that we have here at the CofI. And so we're mainly focusing on the international students, and we're focusing on like their life stories, their journey of getting here to US. And I think when you tell a story, it's definitely more powerful than just like sharing any kind of like, those cliche motivational quotes from Google. And yeah, that's the main thing that we're focusing on, but also people can talk about their own paths, career choices, what they've been doing here at the COFI, and just like many different topics overall. And it's pretty much up to the guests what they want to talk about. But the main thing is that you don't meet someone from Bhutan or someone from Ghana every day. So I think it's a good chance to like get to know about their country, their cultural background, things that you would compare between your country and the country that we're living in now. Yeah.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how we invite people, how we invite guests for this podcast, and what kind of people gonna show up here. So for that, actually, we have a criteria. Like we have a list of requirements for people to meet, and like we decide on that. Other than that, I think I mentioned in my post, saying people can request to be featured. Of course, if you feel like you wanna give it a try, if you wanna be featured, you can reach to us, and you can tell us like why you wanna do it and all that stuff, and we'll see, and we'll have a discussion with our people here. Then yeah, we would get an invitation, or like I said earlier, if you meet our requirement list, you would actually get an invitation from our side without you even knowing. It would be like a surprise for you. So watch for that. So I thought it would be important to point out the music production and all the background music you would be listening, you would be hearing from us. Actually in the beginning I didn't think it would take that much time to create music, but actually it took like a lot of time to create background music. I was very picky as well, so that's one of the reasons. Because actually in the beginning I thought I would be just using music out of internet, there are royalty free music, copyright like free music on YouTube or like in different platforms if you pay for it. And I'm like, actually there's no point. And even if I use them for the episodes, there's like a higher possibility I would get a disclaimer like saying about copyright issues and all that stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna create it my own. So I looked for software and I found them, and then I had to kind of think of like a theme. We have neon and like a neon pink and neon blue. Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna use electronic music kind of stuff for the intro and maybe instruments for outro. And I had to pick like what instruments I want to use. There are tons of instruments as well. Then I just tried melodies, and composing is its own subject and it takes a lot of hours to master it. But yeah, I made it, and you would be hearing good music from us. Hope you enjoy. Finally, what platforms we would be using to release? I think it would be more like Google Podcast. Like it's you don't have to pay to publish and stuff, so that would be our primary source, and quality is really good, and you can download it from there. That's a benefit. Also, we would use Spotify, of course, but I had to kind of look into that and create RSS IDs and all that stuff that's necessary for distribution purposes, and check like their what you call those copyright claims and all that stuff. But yeah, and other than that, maybe Apple Podcasts too. But I'm not sure about the how published. Like, do I have to have an account, and do I have to kind of pay for that? I had to look into that. But SoundCloud too. SoundCloud would be really good if people want with multiple formats and stuff. Yep.
So we're planning to release 2 episodes of the podcast every month. Initially, first and last week of the month. And the first episode is going to be out very soon. So you guys should follow us on Instagram and look forward to it.
That's about it. And yep. And meanwhile, everyone take care. Have a good one.